we're back! Did you miss us, chat? I sure missed you. Can we get some hype in chat for Tech Crew? Been working so hard this event. We are still getting V set up, and again, we thank you so much for both bringing those tech issues to our attention and your patience while we get through this. But speaking of tech, we'd love to thank Speedruns Live for allowing us to use their channel for No Holidays Allowed 2022. Speedruns Live, if you're not familiar with them, is a community dedicated to showcasing speedrunning events, races, and charity marathons involving your favorite games, just like the one you're watching right now. So make sure you also follow Speedruns Live here on Twitch to check other events that they host. And just a friendly reminder that any subs and bits you give to the channel, they do go to support Speedruns Live. Also very important, without them, we wouldn't be having our event like this. But if you're looking to donate to the dogs, that's ! donate in chat. Well, Tech Team is really running through these challenges today. We're back with V. Any percent glitchless race? Oh my gosh, that felt like no time at all. Did it feel like any time to you, chat? So once again, racing against each other for they're only the third time. What a rematch! It's IndyVillain and Metroid Crime.
Alright guys, so third time's a charm, you know the drill. This is VVV, I'm March, we got IndyVillain, Metroid Crime, and they're fighting for Shadow the Hedgehog's affection. If you guys want to introduce yourselves and let's get it going.
Sure, I'm Metroid Crime and I love vroom 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 vroom.
Uh-oh. Huh.
You know, I do believe that it's really the Shadow, the Hedgehog thing that is cursing us all today. So Shadow is a very tricky hedgehog whose affections really require a challenge to earn. So once again, apologies for the audio. We're working on it. We promise you, chat. In the meanwhile, though, we've gotten a fantastic donation from Rose's Romeo. They sent in $5 to say, vroom, 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 vroom. Apparently that translates to, go crime in Indy. Well, thank you so much for that, Rose's Romeo. That donation is greatly appreciated. And that also, let me just double check, refresh our incentive here. That also brings our big war with Luigi back on top. I see Green Mario is definitely very popular with chat. So Luigi is now in the lead at $70 to Mario's $62.51. But folks, if you want to see MChan338 run with Red Luigi in the second half of New Super Mario Bros. 2, you gotta get those donations in. And of course, when you donate, make sure you select the incentive. We are not allowed to make those changes on our end, so if you do not put your money towards that incentive, we won't know. So if you're really joshing to show your support for Red Luigi there, make sure you click that little button when you send in your donation. And just as a reminder, !donate is one of the ways you can call up that link in chat, but that's not the only way. You can also get that link through that QR code right there on screen, bottom right corner, right next to that incentive poll, by the way. That can be scanned with your phone for easy access to the donation link. And of course, when you make a donation, you can make it directly through using card or via PayPal, whatever's easiest for you. But all of that will go straight to the charity, which again is Go Rescue Pet Adoption Center.
Alrighty, we're gonna take it one more time. 4th time's the charm. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
I am.
Ready to go.
Marshall,
Alright.
if I could just interject real
Oh,
quick.
course.
Tell them this time they're competing to win the love of Amy Rose instead.
Oh, okay. Amy Rose, not Shadow. Shadow got bored. He left, but Amy's stepping in. So good on Amy. All right, on go. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So this time for realties, I think we're just gonna kind of go and hope for the best. Sorry about those tech delays, but yeah, this is VVVVVV, a indie platform game from 2010, kind of made to look like an old Atari game, but the more modern music I think kind of gives it away. We got 3 keys here. We got left, right, and flip. So what flip does, there's no jumping in this game, there's only flipping. Basically, as long as your feet are on the ground, you hit flip and you'll go upside down. Oh, death there from, I think that's Indy. Yes, death there from Indy. So this game is very cycle-based. There's a lot of these like moving objects that are on very tight cycles, and almost all of them have some kind of like early cycle that the runners can hit. So yeah, so flipping, so basically gravity will be flipped, and you can only flip it when your feet are on a solid surface. So they can flip when their feet are on the ground or when they're on the ceiling. And they're going to navigate their way. So basically we play as a Captain Viridian here, whose ship got teleported into the V dimension, and we're looking for our lost crewmates. You can see these runners are still quite close together, even if with that quick death. So dying in this game isn't a huge setback. We're hitting a lot of unfortunate deaths from Indy. Oh no. So the good thing about this is though that we do have our checkpoints right there, and you can die as much as you want. There's not going to be any game overs or anything like that. However, obviously these deaths do set you back, and sometimes the runners are going to be trying to skip over these checkpoints because getting them can kind of slow you down a little bit. So Crime has saved Violet as well as Indy. So that was Space Station 1. So every time we complete a level, we're going to go back to our spaceship. And the nice thing about that is that we can take the levels in any order that we want. There's going to be 4 more levels that we can choose from, along with 2 intermissions and then a final level. So the good news about this as a speedrun is that you can immediately go to the hardest level that you like, because why save that for the end when you can get it out of the way right away? So both runners are going to be heading right now straight for Space Station 2, which is regarded to be the hardest level in the game. And they're going to be saving Vitellery, who's stuck there. So Crime is entering it. Indy is not far behind. This is going to be the first and I guess one of 2 shiny objects that we get. For the most part, these shiny objects are... Ooh, bad death there from Crime. These shiny objects are, they're like bonuses, and for the most part, they're usually slower. This is the only one in the game that's actually faster to get than it is to avoid. Otherwise, Crime is going solid here. It's still in the lead. Unless it's some of these platforms that kind of break away as you land on them. Other ones are moving platforms. So we have to be quick about that. Something worth mentioning, a cool mechanic about this game is that if you hold the flip button right before you land, you will flip the very first chance that you get. So right here in the lighter than air room, I do believe that they use a buffered flip like that to make sure that they flip the very first chance that they get. Oh, another death from Indy. Oh, can see the nerves are getting to our runners a little bit here, but we're still very, very close. As I mentioned in one of the intros, these runners, they run against each other all the time. They're great friends. They don't hate each other, like I said. They do.
Unless Shadow's involved.
Unless Shadow's involved. They do. That part was legit, but everything else was, yeah. So you can kind of see how Space Station 2 intermingles with Space Station 1 in an interesting fashion here. So we're coming up to the end. So this section that Crime's in right now is not too bad. However, the shiny object in it is incredibly difficult to get. So luckily we're not doing a 100% run. Otherwise, we might be stuck here for a little bit, depending on how the run goes. And there's Vitali, which I looked up, and that means yolk related. So all the names are related to color in some way. I think Vitali is one of the more, it's a bit of a stretch, perhaps. But now both runners are heading on to rescue Vermilion from the tower. They're very, very close together, even still. Probably only 1 or 2 deaths separate the runners at this point. So the reason that we go for the tower, so the tower is actually one of the more easier levels in the game. It's mostly an auto-scroller. There is some speed tech involved, but the reason that we go there as our second choice is because we're going to head to an intermission afterwards, and the intermission, the dialogue that happens varies depending on who you've just rescued. And I guess Vermilion's the quietest of the bunch, so we're going to rescue him and hope that he doesn't talk very much. Just rescue him. So Crime is coming into the tower here, mostly an auto-scroller. However, there are these checkpoints that they're going to hit, and one of the interesting things about the checkpoints is that they have this effect of resetting the screen when they land on them. So Crime is going to hit that one. You see, she hit it right as the spikes were coming up, and it kind of scooched the screen forward a bit. Now they have to be very precise with that because, well, A, if they're early, they'll just die and go back to the last checkpoint, and B, if they're late, you don't really get any time because you lose time as it freezes. So it's a very precise section. I believe there's we're going for 6 of them.
6 of them. Yep, it's 6.
Yeah. I think there are 2 that are considered pass only, but we're not doing that kind of thing. So both runners getting through this very nicely. I think we're about to kind of an auto-scroller section. No more super interesting things. So if you have any announcements or donations now would be excellent.
Well, we actually do have a donation here. Anonymous has sent in $20. They say, I like doggos more than people. You know what, that's fair, Anonymous. Except for March, Metroid, and Indy. Good luck.
Aw, wait, that means that they do like us, right?
I
believe so.
Okay. Thank you so much for that donation. Making my brain work here. Alright, so Vermilion's been saved by Crime, and Indy is not far behind, so Crime is heading into the first intermission. So in this intermission, the way it's going to work is Vermilion is going to follow us around so long as her feet are on the ground, but if our feet are on the ceiling, Vermilion's going to stay where they are. So we kind of have to scooch around and make Vermilion follow us and get to the edge of the screen. It's a good time to mention that the mechanics of this game, as you move around, your character is kind of slidey. It's almost like all the levels have a little bit of ice to them, basically. And that's going to come into play here in a few ways, especially because Vermilion kind of slides as well. So there's kind of a bit of momentum that they have to manage here. And as someone who's played around with this a little bit, it can be really obnoxious. Vermilion can really slide off. Like these spikes right here, Crime's being very careful not to let themselves or Vermilion touch the spikes, which they got through with no problem. Now this section is, this is tricky. As you can see, we have to coax Vermilion onto these moving platforms, which Crime got him. Now needs to get herself, which she did with no problem. Indy's right on her tail though. This is getting super close. Indy getting through. Yes, no problem there. One last long platform to get through, and then kind of an annoying. Ooh, very nice there from Indy. They're both on the same screen right now. Crime's got a bit of a lead, but this is very, very, very close. That's why I love watching these two race. They're always so close. It's always exciting. So that is intermission 1 done, so now we're gonna head over to the warp zone. By the way, I forgot to mention, but the intermission does have the best song in the game. There might be a bit of controversy here. If that was the best song that you heard, the second best song is not next, but it's gonna be the one after that.
Interjecting here. If you disagree with Marge about intermission being the best song, feel free to send in a donation so I can tell him he's wrong. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So now our runners are heading into the warp zone. So as the name implies, we're going to be warping around a lot. We'll be hitting these squares to kind of warp, and then we're also going to have a mechanic that kind of puts us in an asteroids or Pac-Man sort of screen wrapping situation where runners have to remember which exits kind of wrap the screen and which ones actually take us on to the next screen. They also have to get through this little maze here, but of course you know where they're going. So you might also notice that these rooms, not these ones, but once we get into the level, the rooms all have snarky little names, and those were all created by Bennett Foddy of QWOP and Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy fame. So if they seem extra clever and silly, that's why. So you can see Crime and Indy both are into the warp zone now. Crime beating the little walking men with no problem. And yeah, a lot of cycles in this room, in this level in general. That are a lot of fun to beat. So much fun watching the runners go through this section. Oh, little death there from Crime. She gets past the obey. She obeyed the obey. So this little star room that she just ripped right on through, that uses some of that jump buffering, flip buffering that I mentioned earlier. That makes it much easier than trying to get through. And now the Boo Room, which has had other names that I've heard, but that's the one that is the Boo Room. We'll find past some more cycles here. A lot of the cycles like to be like just barely faster, just barely slower than your character, but yeah. Obviously these runners really know what they're doing. They're just ripping right through these levels like they're nothing. They know exactly which side Mr. Vermilion's gonna, or Mr. Viridian is gonna pop out on. Little death there from Crime, letting Indy slowly back into this race, but still in the lead by about one room. Oh, unfortunate death from Indy there on I Love You. This level is kind of notorious.
I love you too much.
Next room. Oh, that was a bad death. That one. Oh no, he's just gotten through the. Oh, another death there. Oh, Crime is pulling ahead here. But it's worth mentioning that kind of whatever happens here, it can all change right now, right here in what is known as the Gravitron. So Crime is coming into the Gravitron. This is a kind of an infamous section, whether you're playing casually or as a speedrun. So basically, they have to survive for 60 seconds. They're going to hopefully not die, but if you die, you go back to the highest 5-second mark. So if you die at 54 seconds, you go to 55. If you die at 51, you go to 55, so on and so forth. The pattern is random, but it changes every 10 seconds. Ooh, that was a terrible death there. I think Crime was pretty
my
close to the 50-second
gosh. Yeah, bad deaths. Oh no.
If there's any marathon shakes, this is where they will let themselves be known. You can see both runners are in the Graviton. 10 seconds separates them right now. These objects move just a little bit faster than you can, so you have to make a call whether you're going to go in front or behind them. And oh man, trying to watch both these runners is just mesmerizing and difficult. Death there from Indy. Oh, when they come in both sides, this gets so tricky. Oh my goodness. And Crime is into the last 20 seconds. Short death there, nothing too bad. Oh my god. Losing our mind right now. I think we're all losing our minds right now. I can't even talk, just have to watch the last 10 seconds. So unfortunate death there for Indy. Last 5 for Crime. Oh. Crime's getting lucky here that a lot of her deaths are fairly quick. I don't think she's had any like 1 second deaths. But Crime is out. Indy has 10 seconds remaining. They are so close right now.
It's very close.
And now they're going to be heading on into the laboratory, which some people say has the best music, but I think it's the second best. Very good song. I'm going to say it's a very good song, but I will say it's very second best song.
Mm-hmm.
And Indy is through the Gravitron, and they are both going to make their way. So I think the game kind of expects you to do this level first, especially given that the main gimmick of this level is basically what you just saw in the Gravitron, which is that there's these white lines, and if you touch the line, it automatically flips gravity for you, and there's nothing you can do to stop that. The runners like to come here last, as it's generally regarded as the easiest level. So why not save that for last? As someone who's tried to run this game casually, it's given me plenty of difficulty. But there are a lot of setups, like a lot of speedruns, kind of ways that the runners are able to quickly get through rooms, or otherwise, make some obstacles not as difficult because they can just set up and hold right at certain points. So Crime is already ripping through this. Indy's ripping through it. Getting a little bit more complicated with these. Unfortunate death there from Crime. Good thing she grabbed that checkpoint. Oh, this room can be really annoying. This.
Okay, we're just gonna go in.
Oh no, they're both in the same room right now. Crime's opting to take the safety strat, and Indy's just barely in the lead here, but now they're in the his age bounce, which is a mean, nasty room sometimes.
Yikes.
When jitters start to get to you. And Indy is in the lead, he's in the difficult chord room. That room gives me trouble every time, but he's through it, no problem. And that's basically the end for Indy. And no problem for Crime either. So these runners are neck and neck, and they are coming into the last level. What a great race! I'm so excited. They're what, maybe 5 seconds separated right now.
Anytime you've got time for a donation, I do have one ready.
Yeah, if you want to real quick throw that out there, we have a quick second.
Well, Team Crime for Life sent in $20 saying, "We'll never forgive Indy for those cookies." Get got, Indy. Come on, Team Crime. Thank you so much, Team Crime.
I forgot to mention, it did look like Indy did have his Gravitron shoes on there.
Certainly
I
did.
forget to mention
Certainly
that
did.
earlier. So now we're into the last level. So these levels, basically every level up to this point has had one gimmick, and this level is going to kind of bring them all together. So we've got bouncing, we've got screen wrapping, we've got bad guy cycles, we've got it all pretty much. Runners are very close to each other. Some setups here to get through these falling sections. Relative ease. Oh, a little death there from Crime. Unfortunately, she just grabbed the checkpoint. So. And Indy is destabilizing the dimension, as is Crime, maybe 4 or 5 seconds behind. Not a whole lot of video game left though, so we'll probably need a mistake here from Villain to keep Crime into it. In the time slip room, this room is annoying. You just barely sneak past those moving guys. Oh, death from Indy. Oh, it's getting close. It's getting close, but Crime rips right through that room like it's nothing. A couple more cycles here. And we have the tower throwback, tower run back. But you can go a little too fast and hit those spikes, but our runners are handling it excellently, of course.
Oh, Heaven's Gate.
Oh, death there from
Oh my god, I
Indy.
died in Heaven's
Oh,
Gate
they're
too.
in the same room. Oh my goodness. They are so close right now. Indy still barely has the lead here.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
Oh,
yep, you got
unfortunate
it,
death
Indy.
from Crime. Yeah, now
Yeah.
he's into the last room. Wow, that was so close.
GG.
VVVVVV, and time is coming up.
Very close. Very close.
Extremely close.
Time. That'll be time. So close. Oh my god.
That was my best finale in months, by the way. So,
Did you PB the finale?
nearly within half a second. So,
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. I
Well
died
done,
in
both runners.
the buffer flip in lab like 4 times. Which is
Oh,
how
no.
you passed me, yeah.
dang. That's one of those rooms. That's one of those
Yeah.
episodes.
Yeah.
Please ignore the 5 deaths in tower. Oh goodness, great
Wow.
race, great race.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
race.
well done, guys. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you so much
Yeah.
for commentating, March. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, my pleasure. No, that was great. I loved it. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, VV to both our runners and to March for commentating that. Wow, that really was breakneck action. You can all take turns. If people want to see more of this, where can they find you all?
You can find me at twitch.tv/MetroidCrime. I stream this game. I speedrun some other games as well, like Sonic and Metroid Dread. But this is my main speed game at the moment. Working on trying to get a better time, get higher up on the leaderboards, and continue to stay ahead of IndyVillain. So if you want to catch that, twitch.tv/MetroidCrime. You can find me there. Indy, where can we find you?
I don't have too much to plug except for Lady Arcaders. This is the Lady Arcaders blog, I suppose. So it's a good time to do so.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah, if you're a woman in gaming, come check out Lady Arcaders and join.
Where can they find Lady Arcaders?
You can find Lady Arcaders at ladyarcaders.com or on Twitch at Lady Arcaders. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And March, I know you did a couple of runs earlier in the event, including one just today. But just in case, if people love that commentary style, where can they find you?
Absolutely. They can find me at twitch.tv/March_TV.
And once again, thank you all so much for that race. Wow, I haven't seen these two races. I've seen the V speedrun. I haven't seen these two races. I really wasn't expecting it to be so close or for it to go back and forth a little. I will look forward to the next rematch.
Definitely.
But in
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
In the meanwhile, congrats to Indy on winning the love of Amy Rose, not Shadow. I'm very sorry.
We'll get Shadow next time.
And thanks to all of you, chat, for sticking around through all those tech issues for that fantastic race. I would love to tell you, don't go anywhere. We've got another great run coming up. But you know what? If you want to get some stretches in, get some water. I'm sure you couldn't keep your eyes off the screen just now. Get a couple of blinks in too, actually, while you're at it. Take that time. We'll be coming up with QT being run by Pickled next.